Let's get some people in here. Talk some business. Talk whatever. But I like business, money, numbers. I'm a numbers guy. So, something new. Yo, what's going on, Beat? Sorry, I've been away a while. What's new with you? I make nothing. Only my second channel makes money, which is not a lot. Thanks, bro. Thanks, man, Willis. I appreciate that. B, probably Paul Castellano. He was probably the best deal maker. He was filthy rich, legit money. It's all about legit money. The rest of it's bullshit. Who wants to make millions of dollars and then go to jail for the rest of their life? Stupid. When you can make it legit. Am I right or wrong? Concrete, yeah. Make a lot of money in concrete. Back then, especially when they were controlling the unions and stuff. But yeah, if you're into concrete now, you still make good money. Explain, Steve. What do you mean? A lot, like the higher ups don't? Because I see a lot of that nowadays where the higher ups, they just get a slap on the wrist, where a regular Joe, they'll get 20 years. All right, so I'll answer Matt Willis first. Merlino slowly turned into his father throughout the doc. I didn't really like that documentary, to be honest with you. He actually commented on it. He said a couple of things on there were bullshit. But as far as Merlino, he's legitimate. He's doing legitimate stuff, so I can't knock him. I like him a lot. He's a stand-up guy. Yeah, so construction companies with the mob. That's, if you're in Manhattan, Brooklyn, whatever, Queens, big buildings like Rowdy said, you charge a couple of dollars for a window. How many windows are on the place? You got the concrete, drywall companies. They're bidding. There's millions of dollars. That's why, like in The Sopranos, Carmine, he couldn't, the HUD thing, and then the Esplanade. There was more money in that than all the other bullshit they were doing. Section 8 houses, Rowdy, that was a real thing they were doing. Not the Cavalcante family. I forget which family it was, but they did a lot of them scams with that. But there's legitimate stuff with HUD. Yeah, they had the phone, they appraised it higher, and that's how they made their money. Brick, I'm doing good. Just trying to figure out, I get bored easy, so my mind needs to do new things. Chicago, yeah, the outfit. They made so much money, but I think they made more illegal money than anything. How you doing, Brick? What new stuff you guys want me to put out soon? The most money in the bank? Probably Castellano. Legitimate. He had business dealings with Purdue Chicken. Look how big Purdue is. They're still around. And all the construction. As far as the most money made, though, maybe Capone, but illegally. If we're talking the Italians, probably Capone. Illegally. Legally, maybe Castellano or somebody in the Genovese. But the thing with them, like, besides Paul could spend his money. That's why he had that mansion. But the rest of these guys, they couldn't spend their money. Like Junior Soprano, he was rich in the show, but they showed him as cheap. He couldn't spend it on anything. All right, so I'll start with B. Castellano sounds like the boss of bosses. Would you say he was the most powerful ever? No, he wasn't the most powerful. During the 80s, him and Chin, but not the most powerful, no. But he was heavy. Yeah, Capone back in the day, the over 100 million, that equates to a lot that today, so. Brick, yeah, I watched every episode of Talking Sopranos. I like that. I like Steve, even though a lot of people don't like Steve Shareppa. He actually lived a few blocks away from me. He's a chill guy. What's going on, Flying Guillotine? I'm like a Sopranos dictionary. That's why I didn't even go to their event. They had an event, I think, yesterday or the day before, the Talking Sopranos, but I already know everything. Yeah, the Lucchese's beep, you're right. Have I met them personally? No. But I lived down the block from Bobby Bacala. But he moved. That was like around 2003, and then he moved. When he got a bigger role in season 4, he moved. Yo, New Good. What's up, my brother? You could run legitimate housing with HUD these days, legally. I know people that do that. Beeb, are you referring to because there was a union in New York where all the five families they had this concrete thing going on, and other states couldn't just go in there and do anything, and you know anything with concrete they had to have permission from New York, and New York had it on lockdown. So I think that's what you're talking about. The Gambinos, the Genovese, the Lucchese's. Yeah, they all had a part in the concrete. What do you think the best legitimate businesses are today? Yo, Kyle, there's my man. Yeah, the Gambinos had a big hand in that, but they all shared. Yeah, OG, I've been live streaming. I was asking the community post if I should make a third channel because this channel, I make compilations. The second channel, I try to do like news, media, and shows, talk about that. And then I want to do like some business, finance. I'm a numbers guy, so I wanted to see who would be down to listen to that. Stocks, real estate, business, how to save your money. Yeah, I want to talk about, we're in like a recession. They're not saying nothing. It's bad. I know Trump wants to do this 50-year mortgage thing. I heard that recently. I don't think it's a terrible idea. You're paying more interest in the long run, but the monthly payments are going to be cheaper. Yeah, everything stocks. I know a lot of stock in stocks, commodities, real estate. What something should cost. Yo, Leo. Oh, nice. You're already a moderator. Perfect. I don't think we'll need one, but it's good to have. Yeah, Kyle, man. That's all I do. Stocks. I look into real estate and just numbers. Like the wire. Buy for $1, sell for $2. So beep. Do I think it's a better if a company is private or public? All right, so you have the public where, for example, you need a certain amount. I think it's 100 million, something like that. Where you get, an IPO, initial public offering. And you basically want to raise money. Like I was in a company, they were building satellites. And they were in its infancy stage. It was like 2020. So I was like, all right, whatever. I bought it like $10 a share. And I knew they were going to keep liquidating because they're using our money to build their satellites. Well, the stock's at like, I think $68 right now from 10. But they got a lot of satellites in the sky. And if it was private, they wouldn't have got any private equity firms donating all that money. Yeah, buy for $1, sell for $2. I want to make a product that's like $500 or $1,000 product. Sell it a couple thousand people. Then move on to the next one. That's what I want to do. Yeah, Kyle. No, I like not just private equity. Price earnings or private equity. Yeah, Beep. So another example with private is obviously Elon bought Twitter, right? And he made it private. So what I think he's doing, I'm not 100. This is speculation. He's gonna turn it into what did he buy it for? 48 billion or 38 billion? It's gonna be worth more when it goes public. Or he could mix it in with the other, his whole Tesla brand. He's not stupid. Now, on the other hand, too, since he has Twitter and it's private, he could do private where he's borrowing money. Because that's what the billionaires do. They don't have, you know, oh, I have $1 billion in the bank and I have 100 million cash. They don't have nothing. Elon, you don't need money. You know what's better than money? Cheap debt. Cheap debt is better than $1. All right, that's a good question. So, all right, let me. So, why to which question, Kyle? And then Beep said, biggest corporations right now are the big tech giants. How long do you think it'll take different industries to overtake them? Once this AI bubble pops, because this AI stuff is. Listen, I've been doing computers since 1999. They had some of this bullshit back then. It's all, well, that's all you see is advertisements, AI this and that, and all they're doing. When you put something in an AI, right? You're training it. It's like reading, like if you write a book and you put it on ChatGPT. ChatGPT got your book now. It got your face. You use voice. It got your voice. Well, that's what happened with Gmail back in the day. Gmail, here's a free email account. Use whatever you want, gigabytes. And then everybody's data got stolen, remember? That's number one. Kyle, cheap debt is better than dollars because let's say you want a house, right? Now, back, let's say 2021, when the rates were 2% on a house. For every $100,000, your payment was $200 a month. So let's say today, $100,000, I think the rates are like 6.3. So for every 100,000, you're paying like $630. Plus the money's down. It's not worth as much as 4 years ago, 5 years ago. So you always want cheap debt. So guys like Elon, they'll borrow 50 million, then they'll make some money on it, and then they pay it back. They don't have to pay taxes because it's not, their money's always going out. like research and development. It's all a big illusion scam. Yeah, what's funny with that Wabistics thing in The Sopranos was, first off, when they introduced the Wabistics to uh, the lawyer said that Hesh sold him. He gave Hesh the Disney shares that he had for the Wabistics. So Hesh made out and everyone else lost. Yeah, he sold some Disney, and Disney was worth far more than Wabistics. That's number one. Cheap debt is the interest rate you're paying. So let's say, for example, you're investing in the S&P 500. Its annual returns is like between 8 to 10%. And let's say you have a mortgage that's 2% interest, right? Let's say you got it at 2 or 3%. Now, let's say you owe $100,000 on the house. And let's say you have $200,000 cash, right? You're not going to want to pay off your mortgage because you're only paying $200 a month. So you're going to pay $200 a month or keep your $100,000. You'd rather keep the cash. Yeah, let's say you're 18 years old, right? You put $200, you invested in the market every month. For 40 years, over $1 million. That's 40 years at 200. Imagine you're putting 600 for 20 years, or long term it's always going to go up. And guess what? If it goes to zero, the economy, it's over. So your dollar's worthless anyway. They're just when you see news, anything on the news, everything's tied to the markets globally and everything. They want reactions from people, because reactions will cause you to spend money. Oh, there's a hurricane coming, let me buy this. That happened, let me buy that. Or, oh, let's scare them into selling the stock for cheap, and then they buy it for cheap, and then it runs up, you lost on that. They did that in 2020. The 2008 crash, it was because they fell asleep at the wheel. Nobody was paying attention to anything. No one was doing their job. Beyond Meat. So I'm on the site. I'll try and show you screenshots. I knew that was a piece of shit company. I kept telling everyone, get away from this garbage. I actually made a lot of money on Beyond Meat because I'd play options. And there was this one time I had a weekly option, and I spent like $15 a contract. And the next day they were like launching with McDonald's or something. So every $15 I spent was worth like $550. Yeah, Beep, CNBC's all right, but there's a guy on YouTube. He's called The Stock Market Live. He has the best when it comes to news. Or you could watch Bloomberg, his financial shit. Jay Bird, better written. I'm gonna say The Wire was better written. Kyle, how old are you, if you don't mind? Yeah, so we're almost. I'm 38. Um, yeah, when you're 42, you don't want to really risk a lot. So the S&P smart for you. I'm in the S&P. I don't. I try not to touch individual. So yeah, it's risky. When you're younger, it's good. You could always use it to hedge though. Hedge your bets. Like buy puts. I only have one individual stock. The rest is S&P. Well, no, because it's already in the S&P, so I'm not going to buy it. I had Google, but I sold it. Where are we at with the Gabagool song? I was writing a song. Is that you, the one that gave me your email where I got to give you the song? I'm supposed to write a rap song for you guys, a soprano song. Yeah, I'm still writing it. Do you mind? It's not the Gabagool song. I'm trying to make it better than that. My top favorite shows: Wire, Sopranos, Gomorrah, Dexter, and probably The Twilight Zone. Yeah, I'll get that song to you. I think I have like 20 bars. We're gonna go platinum. You guys still want to talk business or something else? Um, I'm gonna try. I saw I gotta reach out to a couple. They're all busy right now because they just had an event. Yeah, Kyle. Name some stuff. I'll talk about it. Another thing is cutting down your like going out to eat, buying $2-3 cups of coffee when they really cost like 20 cents if you just buy the whole big thing. Warner Bros. Discovery. I don't know. That whole thing's a mess right now. Jimmy Doherty or Jimmy Darmody? Fried bologna? Oh man, Kyle, if the bubble pops, we're probably looking at 30-40%. Because look in NVIDIA, you got NVIDIA, which I don't know how on earth NVIDIA is worth $5-6 trillion. I think it's $5 trillion. Think about it, $5 trillion for NVIDIA. That's more than Apple. The valuations, listen, here's another thing. You got Google with its, what is it? It's almost 2 point something trillion. Microsoft is at around like 3 trillion. You can't even get a good cloud service with Microsoft. Their games suck. You go on Xbox, everything on the cloud's laggy. Why are they worth that much? Oh yeah, whoever gets Warner's gets HBO. So I don't know what those chips are made of. Yeah, Microsoft, they got a lot of their big things, the cloud. Uh, that's one of their big things. And then Google has the cloud. Amazon. Look what happened with Amazon when that whole, what was it, a hack or something? People couldn't even get their packages. So ChatGPT reads from the internet. It'll read websites and stuff. Grok reads from Twitter, and it'll look at Reddit and Google. Like, that's what Grok does. It's all a glorified Google, basically. They're not going to take over the world. They're not going to take all your jobs. I wouldn't worry about that. AI it's such in its infancy. It's just there's so many companies throwing billions and billions of dollars in research and development with this AI bullshit. You can't trust no video online anymore. All these people that do stunts and all you or whatever, you can't trust it. You don't know what's real or fake anymore. I don't want that. That's exactly what's going on. It's got to stop. But you know what? The people have to stop it. If the people keep using it, it's not going anywhere until they tell you what the next good thing is. Unless you make your own stuff. You got to go contrarian on a lot of things. If AI became self-aware, I don't think that'll ever be possible. They have that stuff like Black Mirror and the Twilight Zone predicted in like 1959. I don't think that's going to happen. The most they could do is whatever you're writing into these programs, they're getting your information. They don't even need to know like your location anymore. Even though they have it already. If you're using, they already know. You talk to this one who talks to that one. All right, you're in this radius. That's all they need to know. Skynet. It really is. Yeah, the Matrix. I posted one time because I watched The Twilight Zone, and the first episode in 1959, the guy was staring at the moon. He's like, I'll be up there one day. 10 years later, they're on the moon, and they never went back since. Tell me how that makes sense. They all, yeah, these things track everything. If you want to know what's going on, watch Eric Snowden's interviews. He'll, he'll tell you. He worked for them. So Kyle says the NSA has a sentient AI. It's called sentient. It actually predicts conflicts and emerging threats. It will move satellites autonomously. It's been online since 2014. I don't know about the sentient AI, Kyle. That makes no sense. But we'll talk more about that in a second because I have a thought. But yeah, the whole moon thing. You, first of all, how do you go there in 1969 and it's 2025 and you never went back? Why is 95% of the ocean not even discovered? You can't even go in the bottom of the ocean. People just died not too long ago in a submarine. You're going to go in the sky on a rock? If it's a rock? That's what I heard. Kubrick did that. I don't believe nothing these people say. And you know what, Beep, you're right. He does deserve a medal. But, you know, you got half of America who hates him. Yeah, we know more about space. You know, you had smart people, Galileo, Einstein. But, all right, yeah, it's good to tell time. The sky's good to tell time. They've been doing it since Moses. Um, direction. But yeah, why are we looking at, you know, all that when you got the oceans and stuff? Nobody wants to look into there. Quasimodo predictable. I just don't think they ever went to the moon, to be honest with you. Slow frack, yeah, it's complex. Yeah, you could send off some, you know, robots and shit. But listen, here's my thing. All right. So an airplane, I think the most it could go is like 37,000 feet up. Anybody that goes that high, you know there's no air up there. You can't breathe, right? It's freezing. But a little above it, there's a whole radiation thing. So once you go above that orbit, You're fried by, you got microwaved. So I don't get that. I don't understand that. And the Van Allen belt, yeah. I'm not from New Jersey. If we didn't actually go to the moon, Russia would have said something. No, they're all on the same side, bro. I heard about that alien threat thing. All right, let me try and keep up with you guys for a second. Uh, so, yeah, people, they want to, invent stuff, but there's a lot more bad shit going on than good. Like, guys, if go look in front of your house right now, tell me what you guys see. That's what I want to know. That's the question. Go look outside. What do you see? Tell me what you see in front of your house right now. I'll tell you what I see. Yeah, it's fine in front of your house in New York City. I'm there too, but what do you see? You see parked cars, a stray cat, birds. What about food? Do you see food? Anybody see a farm and anything? Why do we gotta go to the store and buy food when we could grow it? We can't hunt anywhere. We gotta listen to what other people tell us to do. We gotta pay for property taxes and shit, but the land's free, but there's no food. Yeah, you can't grow it, but you can make it, bro, for cheaper. $2 and change, you make yourself a nice pizza. That's what I'm saying, bro. That's exactly what I'm trying to say. They built this whole. Yo, you go to a store, bro. Like Walmart, for example. You're in a warehouse. It's people are all robotic and shit. You guys, when you get out of, you snap into reality and you're just looking around. You're like, look at all these robots. They're just shopping and buying all this bullshit. Nobody's even got time to cook and sit with their family and have a meal anymore. I appreciate that, brother. I'll still be doing Sopranos, but I want to do other shit too. I could talk for days about a lot of this shit. I'm tired of these people. Nah, no bomb. Just a cig. There's no freedom. As long as you have peace, you have freedom. But to have peace, you need a lot around you to make sense. No, I didn't see that with the ostriches. What happened? Yeah, Bob, I heard. It's bad over there, Canada? Yeah, all I need is like 2.5 mil and I'll be free. That's my number. At 2.5 mil, you can make about around 80 something thousand dollars a year withdrawing annually and still keep the 2.5 mil. This country changed for me after 2001. I know some of you guys might be younger, I don't know, but after 2001, I started to see the changes. Then after 2004, it got worse, and then 2012, it was over. Yeah, not after 9/11, it was over. At first in New York City, it was, people would join together, but a little after 9/11, like maybe a year after, once they went to war, that's when things started changing. I noticed everything. And then after 2004, they had the opiate crisis. I'm in Staten, but I'm close to Brooklyn, like 10 minutes from Brooklyn. Oh, yeah, Beep, I heard about that. I did hear about that. Yeah, the opiate crisis, that shit happened right after or during the Iraqi war. The Middle East had the most, like 95% of the world's opium. And then somehow, some way, it ended up in the States and it was over. Yeah, the ox. I'll take one sling if you got one good. Yo, Leo, they were guarding that shit. Yeah, the military were guarding the opium. It's more corrupt than ever. Now it's not even the opium anymore. You got to worry about the other thing, the fent. And look where it's coming from. I'm not saying nothing, but look where it's coming from. You know how many people died from that shit? In the last 5, 6 years, no, I'll go further. In the last 20 years, how many millions are dead? Millions. Hundreds of millions. Definitely the first one. I don't know if Mex deals with that, but the first one, yeah. Yeah, that virus, it killed people, but you know what? A lot of people I heard some shit. I don't really. I gotta be careful what I say, but well, the street stuff comes from where? It's coming from something. Back in the 20s, where is it coming from? The mafia and the politicians. Somebody's bringing it. A regular guy can't bring in a duffel bag, but some people could bring in shipping containers. They're getting paid off. I don't know. If you make everything free, where people could just grow their own shit and protect their own shit, I guarantee you it'd be more peaceful. Yeah, Leo, that's true. I saw that. You know, there's so many. They'll catch the regular. They'll catch people. You'll watch, as someone's driving a truck and they'll find like a couple suitcases, duffel bags, and shit. But they ain't showing you the freight of ship cargo that's coming in, that this one port is probably protected, and they're like, all right, yeah, we're going to let this in. Just like they let hundreds of thousands of people come in, yeah, that's a different story. Getting paid off. Everybody gets paid off. Beep, I don't think they should get the death penalty. I, I have a different view with that. It's not like they're putting something to your head and saying, here, take this. I don't think they should get narcos should get any death penalties. Unless it's like some chemical war shit. Then that's different. But if it's, other stuff, I don't think they should get any death penalties, or I don't even think they should do hard time. It depends who we're talking about. Yeah, I don't think people should be going to jail for life over stuff like that. There's more, violent crimes and shit. But as far as people wanting to take what they're going to take, they're going to get it from somewhere anyway. At least make it safer. Beep, that's a good question, because once they made well, federally it's not legal in the states, but pot is legal in states, and it hurt the cartel's business, which forces them to sell it for cheaper. It depends what kind it is. If it's pot, statistics are, there was a saying, if everyone was on pot, there would be like no crime that day. The American city. I don't know if Seattle has it all legal or not. I'm pretty sure it's a crap hole though. San Francisco. Cali's crazy. Oh, Portland? I think Portland. Yo, so you guys ever watch Shark Tank? The show about business? Anyone in here watch Shark Tank? All right, so Shark Tank a while back, before 2020, this guy, right? He had this, oh, you're in Staten Island? Me too, bro. DH. Yeah, so Dragon's Den, it's similar. So the guy, right? He had these nose filters. And it's like you just put them in your nose and, you could breathe, but it kills 99.9 whatever percent of germs and bacteria and viruses. And none of the pharmacies would take them because they said, why are we going to take this for $1 when we could treat it for $12 and instead of getting rid of it. So they were going to just buy them out and shelf it. And then look at what happened after 2020. Because if you breathe out of your mouth, viruses can't live in your esophagus. You grew up in DH, bro? How old are you? We might know each other. If you breathe through your mouth, you're not getting that shit. Seaview, below the boulevard? That's right. Damn. I definitely know you then. Because I was right there. By Dungan Hills Ave. Me too, Kyle. I used to like cars. You know when I liked them? When there wasn't such thing as leases. Because now anyone could drive anything. I remember when people had to buy a car and you see them outside, they washed their own car. They took care of it. It lasted longer. Now today a car could barely last 100,000 miles. Take me in the Beamer. It wasn't. See, capitalism. This country isn't fully capitalism. It's part capitalism. It's not 100%. I just don't like the whole tax system. They got to change that. Yeah, German cars are good. They're built good. They're expensive to fix though. My favorite car, um, probably the Corvette, maybe Z06 or something. Yeah, cause they don't. So Bango, they don't want to. They don't want to cure you. He's in office in January, and I don't know how that's gonna go. To be honest with you, I might move. Yeah, I love the new Corvettes. Yeah, man. I don't know. I think it's just gonna get worse. Yeah, I agree with the whole car thing. I'm not a big car fan as I used to be, though. I like houses better. I used to love cars in the 20s, 30s. I started liking houses. It is very dangerous in New York. It is. But there's nothing I myself could do about it unless I go run for something. You guys back me up. My favorite style of architecture? Damn, that's a good question. I don't know. I would have to think about that. I would really have to think about that because I like architecture a lot. To be honest, Beep, either one of them would have sucked. It's just none of that. Honestly, they don't. It doesn't matter who's in there. To be honest with you, it's all a show. Like we were saying earlier, it's all a show. Victorians are nice. I liked Victorians. Art Deco, yeah. Anyone in here do construction? Three six. How old are you? The best building in New York City. My favorite would be. I went to see the Freedom Tower. I like that. But I don't know. I just always liked the Empire State Building for some reason. Yeah, I'm 38, so I definitely know you then. And you know me, probably. "36, and you lived below the boulevard." Send me a message on Instagram, 36. It's in my profile. It's one of the worst things that happened, Bingo. One of the worst things that happened. The Patriot Act right after that. How about that one? There's a camera everywhere you go now. You have no freedom. Eyes on you at all times. It's all a show. It's true. I probably sound like a nut job too, but I'm not. I'm just tired of the show. I'm tired of the rat race. Yo, 3-6, don't worry. I ain't gonna say nothing, bro. I never rat anyone out. That's not me. Half of America would probably think I'm a nut with the conspiracy theories, which aren't even conspiracy theories anymore. I knew, like, in 2002, I'm like, they'll be able to see us from the skies with satellites. Yeah, I should run for something. So we'll vote for me. We'll go to one. We'll all move to one place. I'll make sure everything's all right. How about that? Oh, I got you, 3-6. Don't worry. My policies. We all build the community together. That's number one. We build everything together. I don't need, you know, another guy's money to do something. We just need to get the work done, though. They do it in other countries. We don't need Karen. Yeah, I'm all Italian too. Do I have any views on religion? People could be whatever they want as far as that goes. I can't tell anyone what to believe in. I got my own beliefs. They live on the balcony. What about Japan, Kyle? Um, Free everywhere. No wars. We don't need war. There's enough food in the world for everybody. I wouldn't disband them, because then that would go against my whole let people be free thing. But you can't push your whole agenda on people and expect them to like bow down to you type shit. I mean, the only way war is necessary is if you got to defend yourself. I know the humans are like animals. They gotta, they got that instinct in them. But it all depends on the situation. If war's got to happen, then it's wartime. You got to remember this. There's people that like to actually end other people. Just like a lion wants to end a hyena. That's just an instinct people have. Same as you're hungry, you're thirsty. People have that in them. You go somewhere where there's no rules, people are bound to die. That's why you need a strong community. A lion doesn't just kill to eat. I see them kill. I used to watch it all the time. They would just kill all the predators around them. Hyenas, they'd go after all of them. Yo, hyenas are so crazy. They'll dig up hyenas and wolves. They'll dig up coffins and they'll go dig underground just to eat a corpse. That's how sick they are. Yeah. NCS. I remember NCS. You're funny, bro. I can't believe I just heard NCS. I remember that. Damn, what a small world, right? Yeah, you brought me back memories, man. I did go to war, though, with certain neighborhoods. Who are your favorite and least favorite New Yorkers? My favorite New Yorkers are mostly in Brooklyn, Queens, and some in Manhattan. I do a lot of shit for a living, man. Yeah, fist fights were always happening. It's, living right now, it's tough. That's why I gotta start a business or something. Try and sell some products or something. I'll still do my video editing. I'll still do documentaries, compilations, all that shit. But I need to do a business too. New York City's hard right now. It's not a lot of opportunity unless you're in a good business that's recession proof. Oh, I remember the Night Stalker, yeah. If you're in Brooklyn, there's a lot of good pizza spots. You don't even have to worry. You'll find them all over. Bango, you know that answer. Entertainment business is always recession proof. People always need to be entertained. And the other recession proof would be something that is probably illegal. Certain aspects of National Geographic and that thing. I don't make money on this channel. The second channel, I only make like 150 a month. It's nothing. I was doing it for fun. Silvio was a great number 2. That's how you gotta be as a concierge. You gotta be level-headed. You gotta be like a president. You're almost as important as the boss, if not the same. My favorite pizza place right now is not even in New York. It's in Jersey. It's the Sicilians. It's called Vito's. I eat their Sicilians a lot. Banging. The worst boss. Jeez. Damn. Trying to run it down and think. Worst boss, probably, nah, Gotti wasn't the worst boss, but he was up there. He was up there. The most evil boss? Oh, shit. Most evil, probably, Carmine Persico. They get caught because of the informants and because of you have a lot of them that work with snakes anyway, lawyers and all these other, you know, that's how they get caught. Yeah, Persico is such a piece of trash. You would snitch for some dominoes? Come on, man. I ain't snitching. Can't pay me. 20 years in the can. Not a fucking peep. For what? To protect the likes of my subscribers? Yeah, you're right. Bango, fuck, he was just. Everybody's got a damn opinion. Dreaming. I was just saying earlier when I started this live stream that I wanted to do like finance stuff, numbers, all that, because that's my bread and butter. Yeah, Sonny Franchese, he was a stand-up guy. I'll tell you in Instagram. The movie Blood In, Blood Out, I didn't see it. If I say that, you'll know right away, because I don't have a normal name. Would Sonny be proud of his son? No. No way. Not if he had that mentality before he died, but I don't know. I can't really speak for the guy, but from all the stuff I've read, I don't think so. ChatGPT will never get my name. Staten. Yeah, he was proud of Michael, but I don't think he'd be proud of what he's doing now. Not the biggest earner ever, but he was definitely a big earner. 87. Trust me, ChatGPT will not know who I am. I'm not even on Google, bro. ChatGPT wouldn't get in 1,000 tries. I'll bet that. All right, let's see. No, Michael Francis, he was a big earner, but he had to split it with so many people that he didn't have the Capone money, or he didn't even have Castellano money like that, or Tony Ducks. I don't think he had that type of money. You'll never get it, bro. Who were the worst degenerate gamblers? Gotti was one of them. I think a lot of them were. All wrong. And yeah, I would love to make it great again. Oh yeah, Marlena was a big degenerate. Did any of the bosses have drugs or drinking problems? Well, Capone had a problem. You saw that in Boardwalk Empire. Um, I can't think off the top of my head who else would have, like, the bosses that I heard of. But more the captains and the soldiers and the associates, if they're staying up for days, they're on something. Why can't they retire after making a couple of mil? Well, you can't retire from that thing. That's number one. Number two, greed. Like Castellano didn't need to be a boss when he was worth like $80 million, and he was doing business with big corporations. Same as why there's politicians and Congress people that's been there for 50 years. Pelosi's finally out. She was what? What was her salary? But she's worth 300 million. Pastels, nah. What's this? We're in the Navy. Yeah, 174,000 a year, but she's worth over $300 million. She was never wrong at her stock picks. Never. They manipulate silver and gold prices every day. Gold and silver should be worth way more than it is right now. And it's not. It just doesn't make sense because it's all an illusion. That's why. It's always good to have the real gold, physical gold. The stock is just a piece of paper saying that you own this amount of gold. Yeah, Beep, you know that saying with the whole gold. The people that made the most money were the ones that had that sold the shovels. Just like with the whole cannabis thing. The people that made the most money with the cannabis was the people that had the dirt, the soil. If you sold the soil, you made more than the people that had the plants. I hated Bitcoin back then and I hate it now. I didn't see Blood Diamond, no. 3 o'clock, I had a theory on it, but people are saying it's just a religious thing. The sand from the beaches. You know, if you go to a beach somewhere and you take whatever, sand and rocks, you can't bring that on the plane with you. I think because they say like it might have, whether it's a bacteria or a virus or something, so they don't let you take that with you. That's why they have the souvenir shops. Yeah, that's what I thought, Kyle. That's what I thought. Thoughts on QAnon? Just another group. It's like to get you. Basically, it's, to me, it's bullshit. Plain and simple bullshit. Um, that whole thing is crazy. That's part of the show. I don't I don't really want. I don't know. I think I'm done with that whole show bullshit. We won't know the truth. We don't even know what happened to JFK. It's all a show. It's all an illusion. Yeah, he's definitely gone. But this whole politic thing is, I think it's stupid. Not even a sniper could hit that shot. They already tried. They tried everything. Well, we'll just never know. There was more than one guy. There was probably like four hitters, from what I heard. JFK wanted the dollar to be backed by gold. He wanted it to stay on the gold standard. You couldn't print a dollar unless you had gold backed up. That's what I still have some dollars that are from when it was printed backed by gold, and the silver and all that. So if you had that, they couldn't be printing all this money that they're doing today. Oswald didn't do anything, and he got murked on live television by Jack Ruby. That's what I'm saying, 3-6. It's People buy this stuff too. They buy it. They buy it all. And they go on about their day. They'll work their 8 hours. They'll drive 2 hours to work. They'll work for 8 hours. They'll drive 2 hours home. So that's 12 hours of their day gone that they didn't see their family. They'll order food and shit because they don't want to cook because they're too tired when they get home. And they got like an hour left. They watch their bullshit TV. They go to sleep. They wake up the next day. And they'll do this shit again for 40, 50 years. And then their life's gone. That's what this is. You know what I mean. I'm not saying 9 to 5 jobs are terrible. You have to love what you're doing. But let's put it this way. I'm going to say 80%. 80% of the jobs on this planet are useless. That's my opinion. Everyone gets up, they put on a costume like it's Halloween every day. And they pretend they're something. And then they get their paycheck and then they go home. They take the costume off. Yeah, Kyle, it's horrendous. Yeah, you do what you love, you'll never work a day in your life. And then everyone always talks about retirement. That's what they throw at you, the word retirement. That should never even be in our vocabulary. Not saying work, break your back, but what do they do in the villages? You think like a 70-something-year-old is going to be sitting around all day waiting for somebody to bring them food? No, they're going to help their people. After, let's say you're 65, whatever the retirement age is now, because they keep making it go up and up. You do other things, write books, go see, vacations. There's other jobs where you don't need to sit around and do physical labor. Your mind could work too. Yeah, you're right. The GDP would be lower. Do I think there's aliens? No. I'm just reading comments. Yeah, Kyle's the best, man. 75% of the job force stuff. So, do we really need... Name some jobs. Do we need... We need farmers. We need electricians. We need plumbers. We need people to build buildings. Do we need all these stores, these retail stores with these people working in clothes shops and stuff? We need garbage men for sure. Tradesmen, yes. When they shut down everything 5 years ago, did you see a difference? Besides the small businesses getting crushed? Yeah, me too, Bob. 20 fucking years. That's actually, yeah, it's been 20 years I compromised. Yeah, society. Yeah, what? So this summer I noticed you don't see jellyfish anymore in the oceans. I don't see bees that much. What superpower would I wish for? Teleportation. I wouldn't need a car, nothing. I'd just teleport wherever I wanted to go. Saved me time. My favorite superhero is Batman. I can't see the bee on you at. Time travel, that would probably be second, but since we're in right now, I would want to teleport. Yeah, I was just gonna say time travel and teleportation is kind of the same. I wouldn't pick flying or invincibility or nothing like that, I don't think. Because who needs invincibility when you could just teleport out of there quick if there's danger? Or if something bad happens, you teleport to the best doctor or something. I don't know. How would Tony Soprano do in Gotham City? I think he would do good, like the Penguin. I would teleport, um, probably if I needed to go. Like I wouldn't teleport to the store. I would walk. I want to see nature and all that. But if I had somewhere far to go, like over, I don't know, anything over 5 miles, I'd teleport. If I could teleport, I don't think I would need work. Teleport to a vault, teleport out, teleport to another country, teleport out. Somebody would hire you for millions of dollars anyway and be like, look at this guy, he could teleport, and let's pay to see him. What about the poor banks? I would teleport to everywhere, all the beaches. I'd keep teleporting the sunny days. Yeah, it is. You teleport to the sun, and then that's it. It's over after that. I don't even know what that is. And to tell you the truth, I don't want to know. I don't know. That's some crazy ritual stuff. Get it over with. If a vigilante showed up and started whacking Tony's guys, How would he have handled it? He'd run for his life, depending on the vigilante. If it's like a Dexter type guy, I think he's gonna be scared shit. Christopher Lee said, I mean, that was his belief. So I don't know if that's true or false. Then we go to a juror. I heard that, that's a popular theory. I know that everything, and I'm sure you've heard me say this a bunch of times, that every time some bad shit happens, it's always with just one guy that did it. One person did everything. Every bad thing that happened, there was just one guy. They never mentioned anyone else. World War II, you heard like one bad guy. 2001, you heard of one bad guy. It's always one guy. Yo, Bob, I think that sometimes when we were talking earlier about the sky, how it could possibly just be a dome, like a snow globe. You can't go up, you can't go down, you can't go all the way to the left, you can't go to the right. You're stuck. Anyone thinks we're just stuck? You can't go all the way up, down, left, right? Can't go to Antarctica? Let's talk Big Shark. Wait, what I was saying with the whole where was this, Bob Barker? The unreported shark attacks? Oh, Kyle, the dome thing. Well, after 30 something thousand feet, you can't go anymore. And then you can't go all the way down in the ocean because the water's going to crush you. So you're stuck on the land. You can't go to Antarctica, you're not allowed there. So we're just stuck. We're in like a globe, not a globe, a snow globe, a bubble. Planes could go up to, I think, 37,000 feet. Then the satellites are in low Earth orbit. So every satellite you see, they're still in the atmosphere. They're not in space. They're just in the atmosphere, low Earth orbit. I never heard of that, Bob. That's interesting, though. I know there's certain sharks, like the great white, they're not going to eat people. It's rare. But bull sharks are the ones. Like Jaws was based on like bull sharks, not the great white. And then what they got the hammerheads. I don't know. I didn't hear. I gotta look into that because that sounds interesting. Tiger sharks. Yep. I'd be the most. I think I'd be afraid of bull sharks the most. But ah man, sharks are no joke. The big eyes. Uh, I think that's the bull shark. I saw this thing where this lady, she'd go in the ocean and just hang out with mad sharks. Shark whisperer. Yeah, Jaws was based on the great white, but they don't attack often. They're one of the more intelligent sharks. I'm afraid of sharks. I've seen too much documentaries. And I'm petrified of like bears and tigers. Yeah, the ocean's scary. If you can't see where you're swimming, it, it's I hate it. I'm not really scared of a cheetah. I know once they pounce on you, you're done, but I got a better chance against a cheetah than a bear. Or a tiger, you have no chance. There's zero chance of, assuming there's no weapons, there's no chance against a tiger. The ocean's one of the craziest things on this planet. I think it's more crazier than the sky. A tiger's beating everything. I don't think anything's beating a tiger. Tiger's just pure muscle, and they weigh like 600 pounds. There's just no chance. Elephant can't beat a tiger. Tiger's beating a bear so easily, so easy. Tiger will beat a grizzly bear, yes. They're almost the same weight. Well, some of the grizzlies are more weight, but the muscle, the agility, the tiger is not losing. And I don't. That's not even my favorite animal. I like the lion better, but Tigers are the Bengal tiger, man. Look it up. Would I rather fight 10 jaguar-sized chickens or one angry giraffe? I'll take my chances with the giraffe. Alligators will get snapped in half quickly because hippos could. The hippo and the tiger would be the best fight. Yeah, wolves, you're going to need a pack of them because the tiger is going to take out at least, let's say there's 12 wolves, 8 are dead quick. They are huge though. I think the Bengal tiger is, but the Siberian's no joke. Wolves, they eat you while you're walking. They'll start going. They don't need to go for your neck. I know, Bob. That wolves are scary too. I remember one time I went camping and I'm staring in the darkness and I just see these glowing eyes. I didn't know what it was, but I went back where I was in this house, like a camp house. I was like, I don't even want to know what those eyes are. Mountain lions are crazy. They'll just grab you and start falling down the mountain with you. Yeah, mountain lions, they're rare to see. Like, you can't just find a mountain lion. They'll camouflage and then they're a phenomenon. Wolves are one of my favorite animals too, because I love dogs. I think the jaguar beats the leopard. Yeah, wolf packs do stalk. Yes. Yeah, mountain lions probably do take out most of the people missing when they go hiking, for sure. Because a bear really don't want to waste their time on you. I don't even know who that is. Gorillas, they're no joke. You can't beat a gorilla with hand-to-hand combat. Gorilla versus bear. If it's a grizzly, it's the grizzly. No, I don't think a gorilla takes out a grizzly. You got to remember, gorillas aren't the type to just attack you. So, if a gorilla is walking to a territory where it's a mother bear and her cub, and it's a grizzly, it's chasing. The gorilla's gonna run away. It's not gonna stand there and fight. And if it does, it's dead. Because the mother grizzly bear is gonna fight to the death. Yeah, they do swing. Tiger versus polar bear. I think the tiger wins It would probably go for the neck. One bite, it's done. The polar bear could swipe at it. The tiger's got. It's a beast. It could take a swing. It could take a couple swipes. Look up the Bengal tigers after this, man. Crocodiles are crazy, but I think they've been around. Science said, like, they were with the dinosaurs. So they know how to, you know, survive. Crocodiles, they'll wait 6 months for their meal. Tiger versus polar bear on the polar bear's home turf. If the tiger's starving, I think the tiger wins. Yeah, sharks too. They're supposedly were there with the dinosaurs. Croc versus tiger would be close. No. Crocodiles die when buffalo run them over. If the stampede's coming, they're dead. Like, and hippos always snap them in half. They'll lose to snakes. You'll see times where a snake will beat a croc. Would I go in a 9x9 cage with a fully grown male wolf for 10 seconds for 100,000? For 10 seconds? Do I have anything in the cage with me? Yeah, I don't think I'm doing that 9x9 cage for 100 grand. Not 100 grand. That ain't gonna cover the medical expenses. I need at least 20 mil. 20 million, I'll do it. Yeah, the hippo is one of the most dangerous animals on the planet. Yeah, it is. I think, no, well, that's not an animal, but the mosquitoes are the most dangerous. Mosquitoes killed more people than anything in this world. Jenny said. Yeah, Beep. I actually watched those. They had the one with the tiger versus the lion. I remember that one. I forget the rest of them. I appreciate that 3-6. Did you see my second channel too, or not? I'm going with Stallone. Kangaroos are funny. Did you ever see them like kicking people in videos? I still gotta watch Tulsa King. De Niro or Pacino? I'm going with Pacino. Raging Bull? Not in a while. Yeah, in a fight I'd say Pacino. But I wouldn't want to watch that now. It'd be like Heat. That's how Pacino would get him. Oh yeah. So I remember the Croc versus the Great White. I remember the Grizzly versus the Tiger. And then the Lion versus the Croc. Yo, those whales are huge. It's crazy how whales, they have to keep coming up for air. They have to live in the ocean, but they're a mammal. We went from talking money to aliens, moon, conspiracies, to National Geographics. If Paul was smart and saw the writing on the wall. Well, Paul was facing 100 years from the commission trial, so he was screwed no matter what. We talked about the moon like 2 hours ago. Is there anything Castellano could have done differently to make a better outcome? Um, I don't know, man. I don't think so. Because even if he would have got the Bergen crew first, it wouldn't have made a difference. Yeah, the only thing he could have done differently was flip. I don't know why they made him boss. It just makes no sense. They could have picked Frankie DeChico. It was one of the stupidest things. Yeah, if Neil was alive, I think they would have still clipped him. That's what Sammy said anyway. He was the best guy around. What murder? Whatever happened there? They make anybody and everybody over there. And the way that they do it is all fucked up. True story. I don't think the members only guy did it. Um, it was the two other guys. The best performance in a mob movie is probably Pesci in Casino. That's one of them. You have Pacino as Lefty Guns and Donnie Brasco. That's number two. That's just my opinion. Yeah, plus Pesci and Spilatro. There was a story where when Pesci walked into the casino in real life, the casino people thought it was Spilatro, and they got scared. I mean, that's the thing, 3-6, with Chen. Chen didn't know any of that was going to happen. He would have never let that happen. That's why the thing with Frankie happened. It was payback for Big Paul. The Gambinos they were stupid. That should have never happened. Chen was not just loyal to Paul. Chen was Cosa Nostra, so he had to do it. Chen was so good, man. Not good, but he was. At one point, he wasn't even accepting money anymore from people. He didn't need it. He didn't want it. Pesci as Tommy in Goodfellas, he was good. And I don't think Francis was right with Billy Bats. There's an episode in my playlist. It's called Hollywood and the Mafia. Me and Pete talk about how the real Billy Bats, where he probably wasn't even a made guy. Because I don't trust Henry Hill. I think a lot of his stories were bullshit. Pesci is one of my favorite actors when it comes to the mafia. No, I don't think Gotti had anything to do with Tommy DeSimone. I think a lot of these guys want to just talk their topics, make their money, and spew out bullshit. But that I don't think that happened. Yeah. Nah, anything Henry Hill said you can't trust. Plus, some of the things that were in Goodfellas happened in real life, but in Casino. That whole car scene with Billy Bats, that story was from Frank Collada. That happened with, I forget his name, but it happened with the Chicago Outfit guys. Yeah. Back in those days, there were some crazy guys. Especially if, without the cameras and stuff, and where you could just, yeah, I heard so many stories. It was just a different time. Do I think all the Jersey guys were in a safe house in the last episode? I believe there, yeah. Paulie was there. Yeah, that's basically all they had left. Did Tony know Phil was gone? Yeah, I assume so. That's why he went out and to eat. Yeah, we are in a recession. They're just not going to say it. Well, Larry was on house arrest. Beep, I'm assuming you're just talking Chicago or everywhere, because Chicago, I feel like, had the best. Yeah, I feel like if they said anything with the market, with this whole, I don't even know, because the market's irrational. It might still, because 40 days of the government shutdown, and they were still, the S&Ps are almost at all-time highs. I don't know, Bob. Maybe Russia, but I don't know about the other one. If they're selling stuff on like Timu and all these places for like so cheap. How much do you think they're paying their workers? Yeah, Chicago, back in those days, that's where I would have wanted been. Or Brooklyn. Or Manhattan. Handsome like George Raft. Thanks, Kid Prode. I appreciate that, brother. Well, Chicago, they took away all the jobs. That's what happened. Same as Detroit. Everywhere you look where there's, crime, they took away all the jobs. Why do you think it's so bad in parts of Mexico? There's no jobs. Cleveland, Ohio. They took, there's no farmland. The majority back in the day used to all be farmers and stuff. Now you got bank tellers everywhere and crazy. Flint, Michigan, it's still messed up. Yeah, when you get rid of the manufacturing jobs and you bring it overseas, you're getting stuff for cheaper, but you're also getting rid of jobs. Remember back in the day when a TV used to, there were those heavy TVs. I don't know, some of you might not, but. And then you had jobs like a TV repairman, and you don't see those types of people anymore because they don't build stuff to last anymore. Yeah, they can't in Chicago because it's a war zone. They're filming their own real reality movies. Yeah, Poughkeepsie is another garbage hole. Newburgh, yep. I want to move, man. I don't know where. Unfortunately, Bob, I'm not allowed to because my state will not allow people to unless they work for certain people. New York's one of the strictest places for that because you're in a city. If I was in upstate, it'd be different. But since I'm in the city, you can't. I can't. The majority can't. But I'm sure there's guns everywhere because more bad guys have it than good guys. Yeah, I'm thinking about that. No state tax. It's got to be somewhere where there's clean water, a good sewer system, not a lot of crime, and jobs. So when I was younger, it was Jets and Mets because I was brainwashed. Then I went to the Giants and Yankees. Texas, I don't know, because of the infrastructure. I don't know. I don't think Texas would like me. Texas, I don't know if I would want to go to Texas. Definitely not Florida. No, I never been there. Mainland. I'm just mostly city. And Jersey and mostly south. Never really north. Vegas is a shithole. It's basically a big illusion. I would never. I've been there, I'll never go back. Yeah, Vegas is terrible. I would never want to live in a desert. I need the water. I need the ocean. Maybe the Carolinas, I don't know. Or maybe New Hampshire or Rhode Island. Maybe. New England, maybe. I know, right, Bob? So Vegas, Kyle, first off, when I went, it was like 110 degrees. It's a desert, so you have to rely on, you know, stores and stuff for your water and your food. You can't just grow anything. I need to be in a place where, you know, I could maybe live off the land too. In Vegas, you can't do that. If some bad shit went down, you don't got that much time. Whereas if you lived in like by an ocean, you could at least fish and have a chance. I'm describing Alaska. Favorite Sopranos characters? Tony Soprano, James Gandolfini, Second's Uncle Junior. I've been to LA back in 2014. I liked it back then. It was okay. It reminded me a little. It was a little different than New York, but I liked the vibe. But I would never go there today. Never. You can't pay me to go there. You gotta pay me like a $500,000 to go to LA for a day. Yeah, Dallas is good. Is there any Italians over there? I need to be around my paisans. If there's no paisans, I don't know if I could go there. Forget about it. Seriously though, if there's no paisans, I don't know if I could go. I would live in Italy. Yeah, I would. My father lived there. He was born there. I would live there. I would live in Naples. Some, yeah, because when they got the euro, when they're bound to the euro, they became poor. Yeah, because of the bureaucracy, Kyle. The jobs too, yeah. To go to Italy, you need money first. So you would have to make your money in America, make a couple mil, maybe, and then you go move to Naples or somewhere. Because Naples has nice cities, Salerno, and then you could chill out. K Southern, I told you, Gandolfini, Tony. Why is Merlino a fool? I don't think he cares that he got shelved, to be honest with you. He's better off. I think Merlino's chilling. I don't think he cares. We're not making a Western here. So, I know some Italians that they are with Greeks, and then I know the opposite, where they don't mess with them. Because the Greeks and the Italians been since, history. Obviously, you know, the Romans conquered, they both conquered each other, and then, because parts of Italy were Greece at one point in time. Yeah, that's crazy with Merlino. And he didn't rat, so. Because the way he did things wasn't the way a traditional mafia operated. He did things the way like a brotherhood would do. Yeah, Greece, they're a big part in a lot of things that operate in this world. They had good philosophers. So did the Italians, though, too. They're kind of similar. Similar dishes like food. The Mediterranean. A lot of places because of the euro. I know Italy was one of them. I remember my family complaining because of the lira. No, not the whole time. Yeah, a lot of them do concrete, Bob. I guess they like doing that. No, none of that. I wish. My favorite Italian dish? I don't know. It's got to be like some type of ziti, baked ziti. Sausages, sweet and hot. Throw it in there. I like lasagna. Those are my top two with the pasta. I could eat baked ziti every day and some hot and hot sausage and then the sweet and sauce. Throw some grated cheese in there. The pecorino. Slamming. Yeah, in Italy it's fresh, right? That's why. No preservatives. Chris's dumbest moment on the show? Um, wow, because he had so many. But I feel like he could have did more with that whole stock thing, but he didn't. And then obviously the using was stupid. Yeah, what Bing said, probably that was his dumbest thing he did. George Mueller video? I think maybe my next compilation I'll do a boardwalk video because I haven't in a while. Christopher, he was one of the funniest. I'm definitely going to watch Deadwood. I can't believe I didn't see it yet. I did Lucky and Maya already, but I don't know, maybe Chalky White. I still got to do Gaston Means. Mickey Doyle for sure. I got to do that one. Johnny Cakes. I got to see how much screen time that guy had. No, I didn't. No Carmela video, but I'll try something with that. Underrated character from Boardwalk? Underrated? Nobody ever really talks about Eli. Eli was one of my favorites. Yeah, Carmelo would be way too much. That you would have to do like different things. Like, she would be so annoying to do. To be honest. Yeah, Eli was one of my favorites. He was a great actor. That guy. Yeah, I don't think I could handle Edie Falco doing all that. It would have to. I would have to. I don't know. I'll hang out for 10 more minutes and then I gotta charge my phone. Yeah, she definitely played good, but as far as you know, making a whole long compilation of her, I would be so. I would have to be in a better mood for that. Never watched Travolta's Gotti. I don't think I ever will. I can't see him play that part. Is it? Is it long? I'll I'll try it out, but I know I'm not gonna like it. Really? Everyone else hated it. I'll check it out. I know. 96 Gotti had everybody in it from The Sopranos, all the top actors. He is trolling, isn't he? I know it. I just can't. I can't see it being good. Especially, I watched the other Gotti movie like a bunch of times. Blood in, blood out. I'll check it out. Oh, Mexican mafia movie. Yeah, I gotta check that out then. I'm trying to think if I start a third channel, that's gonna be a lot. I wonder if I could pull it off of my second channel, the finance stuff. All right, Kyle, thanks for stopping in, bro. It's been fun. Oh, it was filmed in San Quentin? That's crazy. Oh, it's a true story? Wow. Wow, that's crazy. What was this nut? Hold on a second. Getting rid of this guy. Alright, he's done. I'll check it out, Bob. I think I'm gonna head out, fellas. Yeah, there was a troll. I had to get rid of him. Said some stupid stuff. I'm trying to think what my next video should be. Yeah, you too, bro. It's always nice seeing you. I appreciate it every time you come by. We gotta talk about this other business stuff. I know, right, Bing? Alright, guys, I'm gonna head out. If you want, you could hit me up on Instagram or hit up my community post or email me. It's all in my YouTube profile. Yeah, we gotta get that going. I'm just wondering if I should do it on my second channel or just create another one, but I definitely got a lot to say about it. Thanks a lot, guys. I appreciate you all. I'll be back sometime this week. You too, brother. Have a good night or morning, whatever it is over there. Take care, brother.